Good morning, 5th of April here today. Weather's very changeable. I know down south quite warm, up north's got snow and very cold. Yesterday here it was 6 degrees, it was absolutely bitter and a cool wind and rain. We had 2 inches of rain through the night, but having said that, the sun's come out. It's quite breezy and windy out there at the moment, but it's red hot in the polytunnel. Now I've been on the last few days, basically with the onions. I think it's 6 to 7 weeks since I last did an onion post. So I'm going to take you on a little bit further with the onions. There's still a lot more work to be done in other parts of the garden with the onions, but all I'm going to do is show you what we're actually doing now, and these are in the final places. So what we actually need to move the onions on, first of all I'll show you how I make my onion rings. I don't know if you can see the onion rings, I'll show you them, but basically this is hep pipe 15mm. And I buy a 15mm brass coupler, as you can see. It comes in a coil, 25 meters, it's about 50 quid a coil. So basically bend those in and just slot them into there, and we end up with a perfect onion ring. Very light, dead easy to use, and you can make it any size you want. I usually make it the same size as the pot. So that's one thing you need. You need either 3-foot canes or 3-foot split canes. Split canes in this particular instance. I've got ordinary canes further down. Cable ties, just small ones. These are 6-inch cable ties. We need the pot that we're going to move up into. This is a super pot. This is root training air pots, and it's 20 litre. I don't know if you can see on there, 20. These are 20 litre pots. Holes in the bottom, holes down each groove. The roots go down here and they get air pruned as they go down. So I'm trying this. I have tried it with leeks and I grew a few onions in it last year quite successfully. So this is going to be the final pot for the onions. Some will be up in bigger pots. I have used some square pots further down. I'm not sure if they're 20 or 25 litre. Well, if you remember the last time I did a video, I had onions in various size pots. We were moving it to 7cm. We've got a 1 litre pot there which is 11cm, and the onion ring is still on it, if you can see that there. That's going to be removed altogether now because the onion will start to swell, and that would mark the onion. But the foliage haven't been on these, the foliage hasn't been supported and it's very droopy. That's a 1 litre pot. I made a mistake the last time. I did state that I had onions in here in 1.5 litres. These are actually 2 litre pots. Roots are through the bottom there. I'll show you as we pot on. These have got a wire support in, and as you see, the plants are a lot bigger, and it's only through potting on because they're identical plants. So that's the 2 litre pots. This is a 3 litre square. Again, a little bit bigger again, a little bit more fruit. So basically, the size of your onion is restricted for the size of the pot that you're putting them into. The bigger the pot, the more they will grow. I've got some in 5 litre pots next door, in the greenhouse next door, which are bigger again. Right, so we've got everything in place, ready to be potted on. Which compost are you going to put them in? What I've used is John Innes number 2. And I put 2 bags of John Innes number 2, which are 25 litres, into a 75 litre bag of Clover Professional compost. Now I've just used pod bedding, which is the red bags. You can move on to a slightly stronger one in the form of the gold bag, which is a potting one. But at the moment I'm a little bit heavy. I'm a bit short on the gold bags and a bit heavy on the red bags. So these are up in the red bags. Now further down, which I will take the camera down, Richie last week Saturday, he mixed a batch of stuff up for me, and what he did, he dug into the old compost heap and he dug some fairly well broken down compost up, 2 barrel loads, and we just added 1 bag of Clover Professional red bag into that. No John Innes because there was a bit soil based in the actual compost heap. We mixed that together, didn't add any fertilizer at all. I have added 4 ounces per 100 litres of Terra Plus, and the one I've used at the moment is the 822. so it's slightly high in nitrogen than it is in the rest, but that's in the early stages. I'll possibly top dress later on with a 4-4-12, which is a higher and a potash to finish the onions off, but hopefully they're going to grow comfortably in there. So anyhow, I mixed the compost up, I've filled some pots up ready. I've got quite a few potted up, and as we can see, these pots are now filled. I've left a 2-litre pot in there to accommodate the plant. Now I'm going to show you, because these are still, whoops, they've still got the wire in. Nice roots there, I hope you can see that. It's a nice sunny day here today. We should be able to hold that onion no problem by the top. Now I need to remove this now because we're finished with this, so all I do is gentle, there we are. So that's now free of the wire. Just drop that straight in the hole. Remove the wire completely, which just clips off. These are just soft wire that I use. We always put a little loop on the bottom that stops it from spinning around in the pot. We just put that into the pot of compost, and we put a little loop on the top which we can just hook around, and there's not the best looking things in the world, but they do work. They keep the plants nice and upright. Right, so that plant's in there. We'll just firm it in. A little bit of fresh compost over the top. Keep the onion sat more or less on the top surface. You don't want to put it too deep in because it could get botrytis and rot off. Hopefully we're not going to have any problems, but we'll follow it through. If I've got a problem, you'll see it. Right, 2 split canes. Put them down the groove in the pot. On that side. And on that side. Right, I'm going to attach 2 small cable ties to the hoop. Just as such, they're still hanging loose. As you can see, they're movable. Hook those 2 over the back. Put that foliage in there and just tighten that up a little bit. Quite easy. We'll then put 2 in the front, split canes. Again, more cable ties. I hope you can see this on the camera. I'll do a close-up and I'll lift the camera off its holster. Right, now the foliage, it's all intact. I haven't spoiled or snapped off any foliage. I've potted about 60 up here and I've only snapped 1 where the foliage was already a little bit snapped and it's come off completely. The foliage will bend, it doesn't matter, I let it hang over. And there we have a nice pot planted up. One side. I'll do 1 more and then we'll move along and show you everything else. What you're looking for is nice straight onions. I'm looking for quality here all the way, and what I'm hoping for is possibly 22-inch onions off these in this size pot. So again, remove the pot. Nice root structure on the bottom. A lovely root structure. Again, you can hold the onion by the and just slowly tease the wire out. That's it. So free. And remove that wire. There we are. I'll keep these for next year. We'll just put them away somewhere. Again, sat on the surface, just cover it up so as the roots aren't shown exposed to the sunlight. Firm it in. That compost quite firm, I don't leave it loose. Nice plant. Split cane down either side. Oops, that I've got ready made. Two cable ties to get started. Canes in the front. Another nice onion potted up. Again, just lift the foliage up over the top. Helps to keep your onions straight, and any goodness that's in the foliage goes back down into your onion rather than letting them lie on the floor. That's another nice onion, no damage to any of the foliage. Don't forget, very good watering in, and make sure that the pot's entirely saturated. Obviously at a later date I may move these onto the other bench where I've actually got water trays in there. Right, so as you can see, they've just been potted. The pots are in. I'm going to do half in these air pots. They've already been potted up. I've still got quite a few under the benches here, already filled, and a few plants chosen out, ready to go in. As I say, the smaller the pot, the smaller the onion. The larger the pot, that's a 2 litre one there, and that's a 3 litre one. I've got some 5 litre ones next door, a bit larger. So we look down the row, and as you can see, these are still in the round air pots, root training pots, all with hoops on. As we move further down, I don't know if these are 20 or 25 litre. They're from the hydroponic shop, and these are all planted out ready. All nice and straight, and I'm quite happy with those. About as thick as your finger, not much more than that. One or two maybe a bit bigger. Right, these onions are I got 5 from Mark Wimpney. I know his onions are doing very well. He's had a little bit of problems with thrip, as I have. My eyesight's not as good as it used to be, and if you look here you can see the thrip damage on there. I've sprayed heavily since then. Hopefully I've got on top of it. It's not easy, they are difficult. They're in their final pots. I wasn't going to pot these up anymore, but they are growing very well, as you can see. These are about 7 or 8 inches around. They're growing a couple of inches a week now, each week. Plenty of foliage on, a bit bigger. You can see they're going to make quite big onions, large onions. So that's it. I'm just keeping these watered. I still have the light on this batch of 5 because I'm growing these for heavyweight. Everything on the opposite side that we've just looked at, that's going to be grown for quality onions. I will have some smaller ones which I'll probably grow for the 1.5 kilogram crass, but the ones behind are the large onions. So that's it for the onions. I will do a follow video as I pot the pips up, which will be going down the bottom. At the moment they're in 5 litre pots and they're not taking any hurt. That's all for the onions for this time. We'll do another one possibly on the leeks in a few days' time. Thank you very much now. Bye-bye.